quite an idyllic spot here. If you had smell-o-vision though, you would smell that there's probably something dead around here, so I'm going to move once I've done this intro video because it stinks. Little bit of a revisit to Cardinham today. Haven't been here for ages. Come on the e-bike because hopefully, all being well, do Cardinham and Hyde after, which I don't think I've filmed either of these locations before. It's a very pleasant day, got a bit of blue sky, a little bit chilly, and the sun's out, which is perfect considering it is now the 1st of February, which is great because we finally got to the end of the longest month of the year, which I'm pretty pleased about. So here we go at the start of the trails. There is a long blue and 2 shorter reds that kind of merge together to make one longer trail. It is quite a climb to begin with, so that's where the e-bike's pretty good for this sort of thing because you don't have to worry, you can do lap after lap after lap. I think the most I'd ever done on an analogue bike, which would have either have been the very first bike I had since being back in the UK, which was a 26-inch nuke-proof Mega, or my Specialized Status, which was a mullet bike. Got 2 laps out of that one, and that was hard work to be honest, because neither of them were really for this sort of trail. First little bit of trail basically just crosses you over the river so that you can start pedaling up the other side of the hill. So we're on the first proper stage bit of the trail, which is a climb. So we're going to climb basically all the way up and then we'll drop down and climb back up again. So some of the climbs here are on single track like this, and some of it is on fire road. It just depends where in the trail you are and what trail that you're doing. So for instance, the blue I think has more fire roady climb than the red, but the red's climb is a lot steeper. So to go up to Hell's Teeth, I think it is, that is one hell of a climb. First little bit of descent. So the blue really is very tame. I suppose what you could say is a little bit trickier is the fact that I suppose for a blue it's pretty narrow, but the rest of it is really nice and fun and flowy, with a little bit puddly. But the scenery, and I'm going to stop and show you a bit of a better view of that in a bit, but it's absolutely stunning. Like the colours as stuff is starting to recover from winter, it's so nice. The woodland's amazing. So that more than makes up for the fact that the trail itself isn't too tricky. So that's the first official section of it complete. We go up a little bit up the fire road now, and then we come off again to the right hand side and carry on going down before we climb back up the other side of the valley. It's just stunning, the colours. This doesn't show it justice compared to what all the trees look like in the woods, but the colours are so nice. Blue sky in the background for a change. What a nice day to be out, and a good start to the month. Okay, so this is the next sort of tricky kind of section. You've got some switchbacks around here. So there's a lot of switchbacks on this. This one is particularly difficult, but made it. It's very awkward to know exactly where to place your wheel for that one. I've tried a few different times and positions and come off, so it's not completely guaranteed that you get that one right. Just a little interruption to the video saying thank you for watching so far. Hope you're enjoying the video. If you are, please head over to my channel, subscribe to see new stuff, old stuff, and there's loads of upcoming stuff at new places, new bikes, new locations as the year goes on. Let's try and get the gears to change. I really want to go flying off, but on the other hand, I can't remember exactly what the trail is, so A little bit of caution is needed, so no one's go flying off the edge. It's quite steep actually. I was also trying to avoid getting my feet wet, but it's slowing me down rather a lot trying to avoid puddles, so there's not really much point. Okay, into another climb section. So more of these switchbacks. Such a good place to practice switchbacks if you want to practice them, Cardinham Woods, because there are loads of them, varying degrees of tightness on the way up and on the way down, especially if you're on a 29er, because it's going to make it even trickier. I feel like I've got a bit more energy today rather than the other day, so I can start pushing this suspension around a bit more after having it tuned. The other day it felt like a solid piece of metal because I was so tired I couldn't force it to do anything, whereas it actually feels quite bouncy. So another bit of climbing, although not quite as severe as some of the other climbs. I can't remember how long this is. It's been so long since I've been here. I can't remember much about it other than memories of certain segments, but where in the trail I don't actually know. There is one section that's outside which is really fun and flowy, but I think that is still a way off. Unless it's this bit here actually. Oh, I think it might be here. Oh, what a view! This bit reminds me of some of the trails at Brennan and some of the bits at Fod. Yeah. See, I do think it was me the other day when I was like, oh, I can't jump the bike now, the suspension doesn't feel right. I knew it was me. Everybody has bad days on the bike, and it's easy to say it's the bike when it's probably you. And when something feels a bit different and it throws you off and you have to like relearn how to do something. Then it's very easy to blame your equipment. I don't know why they are so noisy. It doesn't seem to matter whether I pull them a little bit or a lot, it makes that screechy noise. Now, next climbing section. This is the bit that would always kill me, because you just done that really fun downhill, smashed your legs, and then you have to go straight into this climb which starts on that really steep section there, and you're like not ready for it because your brain's going, well, we've just been going downhill. But obviously it's not too bad today, being on the eve. So still climbing, but the climbs are a bit more interesting, and there's some little bits where you've gone up and then you get to go down for about 5 seconds, which is quite nice. And of course, more switchbacks. On this bike, it's still a small frame, same as my Alpine, but the frame itself is bigger. And I really feel it on stuff like that where I'm just that tad higher than what I would normally be, and it's that extra bit of balancing that I need to do. But it's all good practice. I was just saying to Pete back then, this is such a good place to practice certain skills because there's no let up, and if you make a mistake, it's massively highlighted to you compared to other places where you can get away with making a mistake and it's not so obvious, or it doesn't have such an impact on you riding the rest of the trail. We can't be too far away from the end now because that fun descending section isn't massively far away, and we're dropping down again, and it might be that it's just one more climb back. I'm not entirely sure, but it's been good actually. I've enjoyed it. It's nice and sedate, and it gives you time to actually look at the scenery rather than really concentrating on what you were doing, which the last few rides have been like that. I've had to pay attention, so this is quite nice to relax and switch off. So we are nearly there now. I am having quite a bit of trouble with the gears. They don't change down very well, and when I put a load of power in, they change up, which is not helpful. And I really don't want to snap a chain or break a derailleur because I've just had a new one put on, so rather not break that straight away. But as ever, teething problems, always the same when you put new stuff on. So I can see the little tea room and the car park, so we are nearly there. This is newly done, I guess, all gravelly and loose. And here we are. That is the end of the Blue.